10 best countries in the world to be self-employed. No matter how far along you are in your career, it will get to a time when the 9-to-5 grind becomes monotonous. The prospect of setting your own hours and deadlines becomes more and more appealing as time goes on. We looked at economies and lifestyles in various nations around the world in our research to determine where you can live and be your own boss. We used data on the cost of living, the average internet speed, the quality of the transportation system, the number of free Wi-Fi locations, the cost of a cup of coffee, individual income tax rates, the ease with which a business may be started, and access to financing to create our rankings. Here are the 10 best countries in the world to be self-employed. 10. Vietnam. Vietnam has long been a popular tourist destination on many people's bucket lists, and for good reason. The opportunity to sample wonderful street cuisine, immerse oneself in a distinct culture, and visit floating marketplaces has resulted in the country being stronger since this increases business activities around tourism. Despite a large number of visitors, Vietnam has managed to preserve its whole Asian history, from its cities to its rural areas, with nothing being spoiled. Many freelancers are lured to the busy cities of Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi, attracted by the low cost of living and wonderful food. Despite the fact that the country has a thriving startup culture, there are still challenges with internet speed. However, those challenges are being addressed on a national level. 9. Canada. Many self-employed persons go to Canada in order to profit from a higher standard of living. In today's world, working less and spending more time doing what you enjoy appears to be the norm, and taking a laid-back approach to business results in more pleasurable endeavors. If you are techie, Canada would be an excellent destination for you to live and work. There is already a slew of digital startups and organizations building a name for themselves in Canada, and many of them have been known to hire freelancers to help with their operations. 8. Thailand. One thing is certain: your money will enable you to live a very comfortable life in Thailand, where everything is quite affordable in comparison to many countries. When it comes to haggling and negotiating, the language barrier can be difficult to overcome. Nevertheless, the expat population in Thailand is so huge that you will always have a buddy who will be willing to provide a helping hand. Despite the fact that the Thai people are incredibly kind, Thailand has some highly stringent rules, and the police are quite fast to act. It is critical to remain on the right side of the law at all times. Digital nomad communities have been formed in Bangkok, Koh Samui and Chiang Mai, to name a few locations. When it comes to freelance chances, people frequently assist one another or form groups to develop projects from the ground up. 7. New Zealand. Travelling to New Zealand is an excellent opportunity for freelancers to get away from it all. Jet setting to the other side of the planet to work on a deserted beach or from a log house in the woods will definitely provide you with the inspiration you need to come up with the brilliant ideas. While cities are unavoidably the centres for most freelancers and are excellent places to set up an office, the countryside is also becoming a popular choice for many of these individuals, especially in recent times. While some self-employed individuals choose to backpack their way through New Zealand's 2 islands, others choose to connect to the internet via hotspots along the route. 6. Mexico. Most self-employed nomads travel to Mexico City, which is the most populous city in Central America. The bustling capital of Mexico offers affordable lodging as well as a high-speed internet connection for those who wish to take in the ambience while working at one of the many coffees and restaurants. Mountains and deserts border the city, and many residents spend their weekends exploring and trekking in these areas. A large number of entrepreneurs from the United States end up in diverse regions throughout Mexico, both urban and coastal. The cost of living is quite low, such that you will have more money to spend on things that you like doing. 5. Germany. The Germans also make it simple for those who work for themselves. If you work as a self-employed person in this nation, you will be required to purchase health insurance. This can cost anything between 150 and 200 euros, depending on the amount that is billed. If you earn more than 1,700 euros in a month, you will be charged 140 euros each month. In the case of individuals under 30 years of age who are working for themselves, or those who do not earn in excess of 17,500 euros per year, it is not compulsory to pay VAT. One downside is that it is essential to pay a capital of 25,000 euros in order to establish a corporation. 4. France. During their first year of operation, self-employed French people are not required to pay any form of taxes. Is that not incredible? In addition, they are entitled to free medical treatment throughout these 12 months. Retirement or a brief incapacity are also covered under this policy. Once the first year has passed, the tax that must be paid is determined by a scale that is dependent on the amount of money earned by the individual. Aside from that, there is no requirement to pay a minimum capital to establish a limited liability company in France. 3. Portugal. According to World Bank data from 2019, 16.9% of the population in Portugal is made up of self-employed or freelancers. This is higher than the EU average of 15.2%. The unemployment allowance, also known as Subsídio por Cessão de Atividade Profissional, is available to self-employed individuals who have paid into the system for a minimum of 2 consecutive years. It should be emphasized that the cessation of professional activity will have to occur by chance rather than on purpose. The self-employed may, for example, be required to terminate his firm if his turnover decreases to the point where it is no longer profitable, or if economic circumstances prevent the business from being sustained. Consequently, he is entitled to unemployment compensation. A self-employed worker in Portugal does not have to pay any monthly fees or taxes. Furthermore, you are not required to pay VAT. Individual entrepreneurs are subject to taxation under Category B, Business and Professional Income, which is implemented in practice through the filing of a single tax return. 2. The United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is the second country in the world in which self-employed people have greater resources than the average worker. Your income must not exceed £6,800 per year in order to avoid being placed under a tax regime. If you exceed the predetermined amount, you will be required to pay tax depending on the benefits you have accrued during the previous year. Furthermore, similar to the situation in France, there is no requirement for a minimum amount of capital to form a limited liability company. 1. Spain. The advantage of relocating to Spain for self-employment include a lower cost of living than many other nations, a pleasant and soothing atmosphere, a very good transportation system, and hospitable people. With more than 3 million self-employed persons, Spain already has a vibrant self-employed sector, which is one of the largest in Europe in terms of population size. Individuals who work for themselves are referred to as autonomous in Spanish. Anyone coming to Spain for self-employment from another EU nation can do so without any difficulty, but they must register as self-employed beforehand. Those migrating to Spain from outside the European Union may require a visa to enter the country and may also be required to get a work permit. In Spain, self-employment is not a one-size-fits-all answer since there are varying standards for different businesses. These definitions are crucial when it comes to calculating retención or income tax, which is calculated on a percentage basis. As our lives get more convenient in general, more individuals will choose to work for themselves. In your own opinion, what are the best countries to be self-employed? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. This is Learning Canteen.